Hi guys, this is Ravenclaw What If. Welcome back to another What If story. Now let's get right into this What If. After Izumi put the school information booklet back into the envelope, as she needed to get dressed, Donna is taking her out into the city for her birthday. She does this every year. Normally, she doesn't have time to visit the city because of the strict training or working on her garden. She's been far too busy to have any spare time to venture into the city. Only time she usually goes in the city is usually on her birthday. When she finally got upstairs, she saw a present on her bed with a black ribbon attached to it. The present was big, size of a size of a cage, like a bird cage. The ribbon attached to it, the present with a card. As she reads it, she puts the card down and sorry, she's fully aware who the present's from. It's from Mr. All for One. He's always sent Izumi presents on her birthday and Christmas. She doesn't see him a whole lot when he does come to visit. She has always enjoyed their little conversations with each other. Izumi knows that he's hiding something from her. It's just a sinking feeling she has, but there's no surprise. It's not surprising to her. The man is filled with mystery from their conversations. She could tell he's been around for a very long time. She would pick up hints of now and then during their conversation certain phrases being used that normally people wouldn't use in today's society. His dialect is quite old sometimes. When she finally unwrapped the present, as she sees a small bird cage, she sees a small black bird, seemed to be modified in some way. She picked up the card to read the rest of the message. My dear little flower, this is a very special present I'm giving you. This thing is called a Nomu. It's a artificial creature. I won't go into details how it was made. I had this created specially for you. It's a highly intelligent, but it will only listen to your orders. It will protect you in my stead while you attend this academy. You don't need to worry. The Nomu doesn't eat or sleep. So you don't have to worry about feeding it. It has a regeneration quirk. It's able to increase its size at will. Also, it has a very unique quirk. It's able to morph itself into a non-living object, like a bracelet or jewelry. I doubt it will break. Sorry, give me a second here. I think I just skipped a little bit. You can even use the Nomu into a weapon if you choose. I highly doubt it will break in its weapon form, but the off chance if it does, it's able to repair itself with a combination with another quirk with the regeneration. It's it's quite powerful for its small stature. Happy birthday, little flower. After reading the card, she put the card back onto the bed and opened the cage and scratched underneath the bird's chin. The small bird hopped onto Izumi's hand, then morphed itself into a black ring around Izumi's finger. Now I just need to give you a proper name. Can't can't keep calling you Nomu. That won't do at all. I got it. I think I'll call you Eclipse. After taking a closer look at the ring, she noticed there was an engraving on the ring of a crow-like raven bird with some sort of green gem. After putting some clean clothes, she couldn't go into town wearing the same dress that has dirt on it. She clearly can't wear a dirty dress going into town. Her clothes get quite dirty when she's working in the garden. She picked up one of her nicer dresses and got dressed and head downstairs to wait for Donna to get finished getting dressed for their little outing in town. When Donna came downstairs, she saw Izumi waiting on the couch patiently. I hope I didn't have you waiting for too long, Izumi. No, big sis. So, have you decided where you want to eat at tonight or today? Basically, it's during the day. Yeah, I know where I want to eat. I want to eat at that quaint diner that's near the bookstore. I totally adore their food. In the warm, welcoming atmosphere in that little diner. The owners are quite nice as well. You've always liked that place. Very well. Come on, let's go. Right behind you, big sis. While Izumi and Donna made made a trip into town, in the other side of the world, Batman never stopped looking into the girl, who she was and where she came from. Batman did have some suspicions that the girl might be related to Poison Ivy in some way. He made sure to involve her in his investigation, going as far as updating Poison Ivy and any information he came across during his solo investigation. When she was unable to join him, Batman knows the girl is very dangerous. The girl has the potential to be even more dangerous than Poison Ivy. He knows how dangerous she could be if she doesn't show any restraint when using her plant abilities. And the girl seems to display powers that not even Poison Ivy possess. If they're truly related in some way, hopefully she inherited some of Poison Ivy's self-control. There's so much of the girl Bruce doesn't know. The girl's unknown and a very dangerous unknown factor. Things keep popping up. Give me a second here, guys. During the years, Bruce has finally managed to track down Hasashi's movements before he mysteriously disappeared. He was able to track down every single safe house until he locate one of the once he come upon a safe house that caught his eye. He had a safe house in Germany, not that far away from the town where the girl was spotted for the first time. So he contacted Poison Ivy to tell her. He might have a solid lead, so they agreed to meet up and travel to Germany, to Asashi's last known location. Bruce is Bruce is very uneased. There hasn't been any sightings of the girl. And the masked man, that's another mystery he's still trying to figure out. But he decided he would figure out the easiest mystery first. By off chance, if he found the girl, she could probably lead him to this mysterious man with a helmet. Bruce and Poison Ivy made their way to the location in Germany using the bat plane. As the bat plane finally landed in front of the old building surrounded by a forest, by the looks, the building's quite old and it's quite big. And Batman saw the dome right next to it. Batman came to the conclusion it might be some sort of greenhouse. This is definitely the place. I can feel the presence of her plants in that dome. There's not a whole lot of them in there, but I can still feel them. We'll check that last. We need to go through this building first to dig up some information. She definitely came from here, judging from the distance between the village and this little building. Alright, let's go. Batman stopped in front of the door to turn to Poison Ivy. Are you sure you want to do... Sorry, are you sure you want to know? Once you step in here, there's no going back. I need to know, Bats. I haven't had a good night's sleep ever since I came across her. What will you do if you come across her, Bats? I don't know yet. It depends on what we find here today. As they both step into the building, as they see an old laboratory, as they see dusty laboratory equipment and a huge test tube with some sort of green liquid, to the far end of the room, there's a huge computer. Batman started there. Poison Ivy examined all the equipment all around the room. After Bruce finally broke through the firewalls, he started to go through the files as he found a bunch of folders that have clips in them. So he decided to go from the beginning and press the first clip. As when he pressed play, Poison Ivy walked towards Batman, Bruce basically, and watched the clip with the Batman. My name is Asashi. I finally was able to acquire some of Poison Ivy's DNA and a couple of strands of her hair by some sort of shadow organization, but that's just a minor detail. I've already been trying to produce the... Sorry. I'm already trying to combine the DNA with mine. All results have become negative so far. The genome is very unstable. As the clip ends, I know, Ivy, you have a lot of questions, but there's a lot of clips here. The only... Oh, give me a second. But there's a lot here. This was only one of the many clips that are in the hard drive. I'll be quiet for now. As Bruce opened another file and pressed play on one of the second oldest clip. I finally did it. I was finally able to stabilize the genome. Now the hard part is out of the way. Now I could finally... Now the easy part and the fun part. I could finally start manipulating the genome code. After examining my dear Poison Ivy's DNA, there's plenty of improvements I can make. This will be my finest work yet. After tweaking her DNA a little bit, I immediately start the incubation process. When the video clip in, Ivy pretty much took over the computer and opened another file to click on the next video with a sad expression on her face. She won't say it out loud, but she knows the girl is her daughter by now. When the next clip played, some time has passed as they both see a little girl inside a garden. Again, the little girl creates several different type of black plants, and she has a smile on her face. I did it. I did it, Father. As a loud slap noise echoes into the garden, as the girl falls down to the ground after being struck by Asashi, as he kicks the girl in the ribs, "Don't you ever call me that. Do you understand me? Get up and clean yourself up. When I return, you better do it perfectly. You are not my daughter. You're a means to an end. Nothing else. As the door slams, Ivy has a hand over covering her mouth in shock. That scene brought back some painful memories, how her own father would treat her and her mother. Give me a second. Bruce can tell Poison Ivy extremely pissed. I want to see the next clip. Are you sure? We can stop it if you need a break. No. I want to see what happened next to my daughter. Very well. I see you made up your mind. As Batman, Bruce plays the next clip. Bruce and Poison Ivy saw a horrifying sight where she was forced to kill people by using her plants. Each time Izumi would try to get affection from Asashi, she would get struck and beaten by her efforts. As they finally got to the last clip, after watching many horrifying clips of Izumi being beaten down, being treated very, very not nicely, as Poison Ivy and Bruce saw what was Asashi's fate of years of being mistreated, being eaten alive by a Black Venus flytrap. After Bruce copied all the files on the flash drive, and they both head to the greenhouse, right next to the laboratory. As they examined the scene, the greenhouse was filled with dried up blood, spots all over the walls of the dome, and on the ground. The the dirt soaked up the blood, but you can still it's visible still. And some of the trees, there was a couple of there was a couple remains. After 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 observing the greenhouse, Batman noticed there's several black plants scattered all around the greenhouse. I want to go to I want to go back to Gotham now. I'm glad that bastard's dead. For what he did, I can't. Sorry, give me a second here, guys. What he did here, I can't even phrase it into words. It's a good thing he's already dead, or I would have killed him. What will you do next, Ivy? What do you think? I'm gonna get my daughter. Leave my daughter to me. If she's in Gotham, I'll find her. I might not have given birth to her, but that doesn't change the fact that she is my daughter. I will find her and protect her. And plus, we don't know the man with the helmet. We don't know where he took her or what her fate is. She became silent after that. She doesn't want to think of what horrible things she's going through right now because of that man that took her. Very well, Ivy. I won't get in your way. If I find any information on her while I'm investigating the man with the helmet, I'll contact you. You better. I might not have known at the time that she was my daughter, but I simply allowed him to take her. I will never forgive myself for that. Of course she's my daughter. I should have came to that conclusion much sooner. Her powers, her red hair, her green eyes. She's pretty much a miniature version of me. Even Harleen caught on to that. As they both walk out of the greenhouse and made their way back to the Batplane to head back to Gotham City, the moment Poison Ivy made it back to Gotham, with the help of Batman, she immediately began her manhunt for her daughter. She begins targeting villain organizations scattered all around Gotham. If she could find someone that recognized the man with the helmet, that's her best bet to locating her daughter. Of course, Harley Quinn was by her side, helping her find the girl. As a mother herself, she understands what Poison Ivy is going through. While Poison Ivy is on a warpath across Gotham, Izumi was in her favorite cafe eating her favorite dessert, cheesecake, strawberry cheesecake. She's a big fan of strawberry. No, cheesecake is one of your favorite desserts, but take it easy. It's not going anywhere. I know, big sis. I just can't help it. I've always had a weakness for cheesecake. Just make sure you do it in moderation. Yeah, I know. Besides that, are you having a good birthday? Yes, thank you. No problem. I'm more than willing. There's no need to thank me. As she as she smiled at Izumi, your smile is enough thanks. Jesus, you're being mushy today. Well, it's not every day a girl turns 14. Why? Oh, sorry. When you're done with your little snack, why don't you explore a couple of the shops? Here's some money if you find anything that catches your eye. I have to pick up a few things for the house. I'll see you in a couple hours. I said as she leans over to kiss Izumi on the forehead. Then she paid for the bill for the food. Izumi and Donna went their separate ways for now. Like a normal girl, she want to go to a couple shops to look at the merchandise, even though she's nowhere near normal. She made sure to visit the bookshop that that she's seen many times when she went to this cafe. This is the first time she'll be able to check this place out. She opened the door as she could hear a bell go off from the doorway as the the old lady smiled at her and welcomed her to her bookshop. She informed her if she needed any help, just give her a holler. As the clerk was a very nice old lady, the one was very friendly towards Izumi. She simply smiled and thanked her as she went through the bookstore to check out different type of books that catches her eye. There's one thing she enjoys more than nurturing her plants in her greenhouse is reading books. Even though she doesn't like the idea of humankind using trees for the paper, but she came to terms with that a few years ago. At first, she refused to read books because it's made out of paper from trees. Donna explained to her to look at it a different way. After a while, she finally accepted it. She still doesn't like it very much, but it's not like she can do anything about it outside of killing all humans on on the planet. She thought about it a couple of times, but never gave it a serious thought. When it comes to the subject of genocide, it's always a touchy subject. Most people, to most people, she would never bring it up. She's never brought it up to Donna. She knows she wouldn't approve. The last thing she wants is to make her big sis mad at her or disappointed. When she turned around the corner to look at a couple of the bookshelves in the poetry section, she saw a humorous sight. A girl with almost orange tan skin with long hair floating, carrying a whole lot of books, while talking to a girl with some sort of cloak, with the girl had gray skin. She did notice the cloak girl had some sort of jewel in the middle of her forehead. The moment the girl in the cloak threw a book on the pile, what the other girl was holding. She immediately dropped majority of the books as the cloak girl simply sighed. You should have told me there were too many star. Sorry, Raven. I thought I could handle it. I didn't realize you were going to buy so many books. Raven and Starfire noticed a girl with green eyes with long red hair walk towards them and bent down to help Starfire pick up some of the books that she dropped from the pile, basically, while that she was carrying. Thank you. As she smiled at Starfire, no problem. I saw you were having a little bit trouble there. I simply couldn't ignore it. Giving Starfire another warm smile. I'm being rude. I'm Starfire. What's your name? Izumi. It's a pleasure to meet you, Starfire. And this is my friend. She's very antisocial. Her name's Raven. Why do you keep saying that? I'm not antisocial. I just don't. I just like to keep to myself. Anyways, it's nice to meet you, Izumi. Nice to meet you too, Raven. I could help you carry the books if you want. I suppose you're looking for more books that that you wanted to get. I have no problem with it. What about you, Star? I'm more than happy with it. Not very often we meet a new friend. By the way, Izumi, you have very pretty hair. And soft, too. As Starfire is touching Izumi's hair. Star, what did I tell you about personal space? As Starfire pouts at Raven. Sorry, Izumi. I got a little overexcited. Sorry about her. She could be a handful sometimes. Izumi begins to giggle at the two of them. It's quite alright. Thank you for the compliment, Starfire. I like your hair as well. I knew there was something about you I liked. I know we're going to be best friends. As she wraps her arms around Izumi. You're affectionate one. I don't mind. So, Raven, what type of books are you looking for? I do apologize again for her. She doesn't believe in personal space. I just needed a couple more on my list. As the three girls collect the books that Raven needed, Izumi picked out a couple that herself that caught her eye. The three girls heard some ruckus in front of the store. They noticed a group of men pointing their guns at the nice old lady and demanding to open up the register. When Raven and Starfire saw that, they both looked at each other. Then they're about to turn to Izumi to tell her to stand back, they'll handle it. But to their shock, she was already gone and already started to walk towards the men, setting the books on the counter. That's no way to treat a nice old lady like that. Look what we have here, boys. She's a pretty one. I've always liked redheads. I do appreciate the compliment, gentlemen, but unfortunately I'm going to have to ask you lot to leave. Please. The group of men start to laugh at Izumi. The old lady gave the robbers the money and begged them to leave the girl alone. But the head robber had other motives. Money's always good and all, but I took a liking to her. Knock her out. We're gonna take her with us. We're gonna have so much fun with this little redhead. The moment the men approached Izumi and tried to grab onto her shoulder, she immediately cut the man's wrists and threw him over her shoulder, slamming him into the ground, leaving cracks in the tile from the impact. Then jump in midair and knee the second man in the skull. Then while the man was on the ground, slammed her fist onto the man's skull, leaving this cracks in a tile from the second man. She swiftly decimated two other men rushing towards her by pure instinct because of her harsh training in hand-to-hand combat with Donna. She took out the rest of them pretty swiftly, leaving only a few of them left. Now I know why Big Sis despised men. Despised men in general. The moment the rest of the men aimed their gun at Izumi, Izumi jumped out of the way from sensing danger as a green beam shoots through the men hitting the two men as all the rest of the lagoons got blasted through onto the wall, knocking them out. After Starfire and Raven take the rest of them out fairly easy, Starfire rushed towards Izumi to make sure she's alright. She was hoping her new friend didn't get her at all. Are you alright, Izumi? I'm quite alright. Thanks for the concern, Starfire. I got to say, you're pretty good at fighting, Izumi. Where did you learn those moves? You took out those four men with great ease, and I could tell you're pretty strong. My big sister taught me. That was exciting. It was nice hanging out with you two. I need to pay for my books, then head back to my sis. She should be picking me up pretty soon. When she tried to pay for the books, the nice old lady told her it was on the house. It was thanks for saving her store from being robbed. Even Raven got her books for free, even though she was being very stubborn about it. But she ultimately agreed. Izumi waved goodbye to her. Sorry, said goodbye to the two girls. As Starfire and Raven contacted authorities to get these people arrested and booked. Starfire was very sad to see her leave, but she can't wait for the day where they would meet again. But fate had other ideas. Their reunion won't be as happy as their meeting. The next time they meet, they'll be on the opposite sides. When Izumi finally met up with Donna, she immediately knew that something went wrong. What happened? As she wiped some blood off her cheek. A lot of things happened. I met two nice girls, and I kind of stopped a robbery at the bookshop. I take it you took them down? I took down a good portion of them, but the two other girls I mentioned took care of the rest. I think you had an I think you had enough excitement for one day. Let's head back to the house. Come on, let's get in the car. Okay, big sis. So, when will I be attending this academy? Tomorrow. So I want you to get plenty of sleep. I know you could handle I know you could handle anything that academy will throw at you, no matter what type of mischief you get yourself into. I know you can handle yourself. After all, I train you personally. And with your natural abilities and your supreme healing because of your biology, I don't need to worry too much. But as a big sister, I will always worry about you. I don't like leaving you alone, sis. It's sweet of you to be so concerned. It might be hard adjustment at first, but I think we'll both be okay. I think we both be okay. You have my number if you ever feel lonely. You know you could always call me. I know it's just the first time I've been away from the house since you took me in. I know I know there would come a time where I would have to leave, but I wish it wasn't so soon. Sorry, give me a second, guys. Me too, but we knew it was going to come one day. It's not like you can't come back. I don't want to see you depressed. I won't. Thanks for worrying, big sis. That's what I like to hear, dear. Tomorrow, I'll be taking you to Hive Academy. Just keep your guard up. It may be school, but it's still school for villains. Just don't piss off your handler. Try to try to stay on your handler's good side. Will do, sis. As soon as Izumi made it back to the house, she got into her bed for an oh, going sorry. She got into her bed and turned in for the night, allowing slumber to take over. The next morning, she was woken up by the smell of her favorite food. The moment she got downstairs and went to the kitchen, saw Donna just got done making a fresh batch of pancakes. She gestured her for sit down to eat her food. Izumi's favorite food has always been pancakes, but she totally adored chocolate chip pancakes with strawberry syrup. Izumi only has Izumi has always had a sweet tooth for chocolate pancakes. When she finally finished her breakfast, Donna and Izumi finally started to head towards the academy. The moment she saw the academy, it reminded her of a beehive. That's how the building's shaped and what color it is. All right, little flower. Do you have everything? Do you got your book bag, your phone, and your charger? Did you get enough clothes? Relax, big sis, Donna. I have everything. Sorry to mother you so much. I just can't help it. We're going to be away from each other for a while. It's going to be quite an adjustment for both of us. I just got used to you. I just got used to you being around me. I might not agree with All for One sending you to the school, but I can admit I do understand his logic in this. This will give you some new experiences. Don't mind me. I'm just being a little overprotective. I know you can be extremely overprotective over me, big sis. It shows how much you care, and I do appreciate it. I'll either call you or text you every day to make sure I'm alright. Thanks. That would ease my mind. Get out of here before I change my mind. Love you, big sis. Love you too, little flower, and stay away from boys. Izumi rolled her eyes. When she got to the front of the Hive Academy, two guards stopped her from entering. They demanded her identity. After they identified her, they allowed her in, where she saw a green-eyed woman with green hair, waiting for, waiting for Izumi, wearing some sort of business suit, holding some sort of clipboard. I just totally forgot what it was. Sorry, guys. That wasn't in the script. That's just something I had to add right now. Even the whole office lady look with glasses. Oh, you must be our new student. I've been expecting you. You may refer me as Miss Inko. Young Izumi. Welcome to Hive Academy. I will be your teacher and handler. Please follow me. I will show you around the campus. Or the academy. First, let's stop by the dormitory, so you could drop off your belongings. Understood, Miss Inko. That's refreshing. You're a lot more polite than the other bastards here. I think me and you are going to get along just fine. Will I be having a room? Will I be having a room to myself, or will I be sharing with someone? You will have the room to yourself. We have plenty of rooms here at the academy, so there's no reason to set up roommates. We're here. What do you think of the room? The room is quite cozy. Thank you, Miss Midoriya. Oh, sorry, Inko. Sorry, she's not a Midoriya in this. I'm glad it's to your liking. Now, please follow me. I have much to show you. After the after the tour, you'll be attending your first class with the rest of your fellow students. I personally don't have any faith in them, those little bastards. But with you here, we might be able to turn things around. After all what I read about your profile, you're quite talented and powerful. You'll definitely fit in here well. Sorry, you'll definitely fit in here real nice. As Slade Wilson, or aka Deathstroke, is sitting on a chair in Hive Academy on the upper floor, watching the monitors with his helmet off, as the man had a smirk on his face. With this new addition to his school and with her abilities and the combat experience, the Teen Titans won't know what hit him. As Deathstroke commented to himself, things are about to get a lot more interesting around here. The moment she guided Izumi to the classroom, please. Although, yeah, she guided Izumi to the classroom. Please have a seat there. Your classmates are currently on a mission. Your classmates are currently on a mission. Yeah, basically, I said they'll be they'll be back hopefully in one piece. As Inko knows her phone was ringing, as she picked it up. I want you to send the new girl. Are you sure, sir? She just arrived. I would like to see her in action. All right, sir. I'll send her. I don't like it. I would rather not have my new favorite student hurt. Slade laughed at that comment. I see you took a liking to her. Yes, I have. She's very polite, unlike the rest of the bastards. Amusing this is. You don't need to worry. The girl has been trained from a young age, to my understanding, from her profile. Understood, sir. As she hangs up the phone. Izumi, there's a change of plans. Yes, Sensei? After completely ignoring the whole Sensei thing, she normally would hate being called that, but she allowed the girl to refer her as that. The headmaster wants you out on the field to see what you can do. Here, take this. She handed over a device that's yellow. It has a big H on it. It's a communicator. Every student of the Hive Academy has one of these. It's used to communicate with each other students, and able to track down the location of any of your classmates if they're in trouble. I want you to use this and track down your teammates. They're currently engaging the Teen Titans. I want you there and display your abilities. The headmaster will be watching you. If things get dicey, I want you to I want you to I want you to go in full retreat. In an unknown location, the Teen Titans are engaging Mammoth, Jinx, and Gizmo in combat, trying to stop them from causing trouble around the city. Mammoth is engaging Robin, Beast Boy, and Cyborg, while Jinx is fighting Raven, and Gizmo is engaging Starfire. With teamwork, Beast Boy, Cyborg, and Robin took out Mammoth. Even with Mammoth's strength, he couldn't overcome their teamwork. The three the teamwork the three of them were displaying. Give up, Jinx. You're already one man down. You can't win this. Gizmo lands right beside Jinx. Maybe the big bus girl is right, Jinx. Maybe we should hightail it out of here. Not losing to them again, Gizmo. Especially big tits over there. You can't be serious. Just because you're jealous she has bigger tits than you, you can't make us fight a losing battle. Come again, you little pervy midget. What? Can't handle the truth? The fact that you have small knockers? Gizmo got blasted by water by a nearby fire hydrant with Jinx's powers of hexes, or bad luck, from Jinx. As the midget in question hit the car hard from being tossed from the water. That serves you right, pervert. Now, where were we, Raven? Ah, I remember now. I'm about to kick your ass. With great reflexes and grace, she dodged a hand cannon blast from Cyborg and jumped over Beast Boy while he was in his rhino form, causing Beast Boy to hit a lamppost. While throwing blasts of energy from her hex magic, bypassing Raven's shielding and blasting her across the street, while dodging Starfire's starburst attack with grace, then engaging hand-to-hand combat with Robin. While her attention was on Robin, she didn't notice Cyborg and Raven Starfire regroup as they all attack all at once or at the same time. Blasting her through the air, by everyone's shock, she landed gracefully on a black flower, well, on her behind, on a black flower that just popped out of cement out of nowhere. What the hell? What is this thing? A flower? When Jinx turned around to see who's next to her on the flower, she saw a girl with long red hair with green eyes. Sorry to interrupt your fun. I thought I would give you a hand. Smiling while sitting right next to Jinx on the flower. Who are you, Red? Oh, that little minor detail, yes, I'm your ally. That's all you need to know for now. Proper introductions could be dealt with later. Take a load off. I'll handle it from here. I'll deal with these lot. Why don't you relax and watch the show? Starfire and Raven were shocked to see her again. What are you doing, Izumi? They're bad people. You shouldn't be next to them. You might get hurt. I'm shocked to see you here too, as well, Starfire and Raven. But I have my orders. I do apologize ahead of time. What I'm about to do. With one snap of her finger, rock plant golems sprout out of the ground. Izumi stand on to her feet and observe the Teen Titans movements. Before Raven could attack, Raven found vines wrapped around her mouth, shutting her up from saying her incantations. As she got tossed by as vine wrapped around her and tossed her across the street, hitting the building, going through a window, and entering a store. He immediately jumped in the air and struck Starfire across the face as she goes flying into a trailer truck, a diesel truck that has a trailer back of it. Luckily for Starfire, she landed on soft pillows. Izumi could hear the sirens in the background that the authorities are approaching fast. It's a pleasure to it's a pleasure to meet you two again, Starfire and Raven. As they finally recovered from their attack, as both girls are staring at Izumi. I believe playtime is over. It's time to go, Eclipse. As the ring on her finger morphed into a big black bird, picking up Gizmo and Mammoth and tossing them on his back, or her back. The bird's a she. As vines wrap around Jinx and Izumi and putting them on the back of the bird gently. As the big black bird take flight, as several more golems pop out of the ground, keeping the Teen Titans busy to cover their escape. Until we meet again. I don't have time. Sorry. Give me a second here, guys. Meet again. Don't have too much fun now. As Izumi begins to giggle, as the bird begins flying away, escaping from the Teen Titans. That's where we're going to cut it. I hope you guys had a good day or night. Just my time zones. I can't speak today for some reason. All right, well, catch you in the next video.